creators are pulling themselves out of the Welcome Home fandom because it's becoming toxic. No, you don't understand. Creators are pulling out of the Welcome Home fandom because it's becoming toxic. And one day, I have seen two creators that I followed very closely make the announcement that they are either leaving the fandom or they are distancing themselves from the fandom. And the reason for this is the same that it's always been. People are not respecting the creators' boundaries and creating NSFW content of the Welcome Home characters or of the creators' own characters that they created themselves. I don't know who the fuck needs to hear this, but boundaries are not optional. Allow me to say it louder for the people in the back. Boundaries are not optional, especially if we are talking about creators who are minors. These creators are only asking you to do a few simple things for them. A few simple things. And these people can't even do that. Creating NSFW chatbots and character AI, creating NSFW artwork, sending the NSFW artwork to the creators, y'all need to stop. I am a whole ass adult in this fandom, so I try to follow creators' boundaries religiously. Why? Because as an adult, there are very real consequences for me if I choose to ignore the boundaries regarding suggestive content or NSFW content, especially if it's directed towards a minor. I most certainly wasn't comfortable with that kind of content when I was a minor. I'm most certainly not going to expect the minors of this fandom to be comfortable with that content either. One more time, with feeling, boundaries are not optional. If someone tells you to stop doing something, you stop doing it. If a minor tells you to stop doing something, you stop doing it. If you are a minor and another minor tells you to stop doing something, you stop doing it. If creating NSFW content of Welcome Home or commissioning an artist who might not know anything about the fandom to Welcome Home for NSFW content is how you get your sick kicks, then that's your business. Keep it your business. This makes 3 Welcome Home creators that have publicly announced that they are leaving the fandom. And that does not account for the ones that just up and left and just stopped making content altogether. As for myself, my own boundaries for my RF Wally profile are pinned to the top of the page in this second video right here. I have been creating content and posting it publicly to the internet for, what is it now, like 8 years? I'm used to this shit. Content that is suggestive, NSFW content, toxic people, none of that phases me anymore. However, just because it doesn't faze me doesn't mean I am not going to stand up for the other creators who are uncomfortable with that sort of content. I have seen people downplay the situation like, oh, they're just getting flustered and that's why they're uncomfortable with it. No, they're uncomfortable with it because it's inappropriate. It makes them feel uncomfortable. You never know. They might be uncomfortable with it because they have trauma surrounding NSFW activities. If you sadly know what I mean. I realize it is not the majority of the fandom that is doing stuff like this, but as the old saying goes, one bad apple can ruin the batch. A small handful of people in a fandom can tear the fandom down. And if this keeps up, we might not have a Welcome Home fandom. We might not have creators willing to create content for the fandom. Again, speaking in terms of myself, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to still make Rainbow Factory Wally content. And honestly, the day that I publicly announce that I'm leaving the fandom because of some toxic ass people is the day that this fandom is doomed. Because I've got very thick skin. And I don't want it to come to that. Welcome Home holds a very special place in my heart right now, in the sense that it helped me when I was dealing with the loss of my father. It helped me when I was struggling with COVID. I still personally believe that me choosing to start a Rainbow Factory Wally profile was a fever-induced decision, but regardless, this fandom holds a special place in my heart, and I do not want that to go away. Again, your business is your business. Keep your business to yourself and keep your business out of ours.